Hey all, no null here. Yes, I know, but I wasn't able to find my usual TTS voice in the usual place I use, so this one will have to do for now. The latest SMG4 episode, Mario Goes on Death Row, was really great, one of my favorites from this year. Not only do we get to see a wide variety of characters who are not always seen together or haven't been seen much this year, but this seems to be possibly confirming a recent positive trend in the series since around WotF 2023, where they have begun using a wider variety of characters in episodes more generally. Hopefully this means one of my biggest issues with SMG4 at the moment has been acknowledged and that we'll continue to see more balanced character appearances moving forward with the series. Furthermore, this episode finally reintroduced the plot point of Melony becoming a manga artist to complete Axel's two-piece manga as well as to make other drawings for him in general. I believe the last time this was ever mentioned/referenced was in the Mario documentary episode from last year, with the last proper mention of it being in Revelations. I am very, very happy they brought this plot point back, as it was the most important, and therefore strangest, character detail/I suppose character arc that has been forgotten and left unresolved in the series, especially as it was related to a fan favorite character who died and was explicitly advanced as a new character detail/arc for Melony at the end of WotF 2021. This hopefully means they'll finally be using Melony's character more as well as finally doing something interesting with her. My only issue with this great episode, which isn't even its fault, is that the whole plot of Mario going to prison reminded me of the wasted potential of the ending of WotF 2023 where Mario and Marty were imprisoned, and how this could have led to a short arc or even just a single follow-up episode. But this leads into something else I really like about this episode, being that it may be the beginning of the build-up to the next big SMG4 episode. So as you all know, I expect there to be one last SMG4 movie before the year ends that finally resolves the year-spanning arc orchestrated by the TV entity, who I call Puzzlevision based on the brand name present on his design. Although we only just recently got a major episode with WotF 2023, and that usually WotFs have been the last major videos of the year, I think it's highly unlikely that the Puzzlevision arc won't be resolved this year. Firstly, this is because having the Puzzlevision arc conclude this year would be more fitting than ending it next year, considering this arc has been ongoing throughout almost the entirety of this year. Also, I feel the cliffhanger from WotF is just too big for them to not expand upon it for months. Secondly, SMG4 and team have been stressing throughout the year that this would be the biggest year yet for SMG4, that this arc would be much bigger, and this teaser at the end of Western Spaghetti suggests, to me, that we should expect more than WotF, especially with the suggestion of there being multiple things they were planning for later this year. Thirdly, the fact that we've heard who is voicing Puzzlevision is probably the largest piece of evidence, since I highly doubt they would hire this guy to voice a character but then have a major gap between when he next does voice work. Lastly, we can probably be pretty confident that the mystery of the boarded up door in the new castle is somehow related to Puzzlevision, considering the heavy foreshadowing the door received and the fact that we know the showgrounds is somehow related to Puzzlevision. I'd find it even weirder if they didn't finally expand upon this mystery this year, considering it is a more minor mystery than Puzzlevision, and so leaving it too long will likely just make people forget about it. For these reasons, I expect the Puzzlevision arc to be concluded this year, and for this to be done in a movie or another major episode like the Meme Games 2023, as considering how much Puzzlevision has been responsible for this year, not having it end with a major episode would just not feel as impactful, climatic or hype as it should be in my opinion. So what might they be hinting towards in this latest episode? I think that they may be hinting at Melony being Puzzlevision's next pawn that he influences in order to create his next quote-unquote show. I partly believe this because we've seen other seemingly forgotten plot points become relevant again in one of Puzzlevision's shows, that being Maggie's training at college to become a sports coach and her relationship with One Shot Ren. But the primary reason I think they are hinting at Melony being Puzzlevision's next pawn is because Melony's new manga has had original art, and what looks like a simple original model, made for it. As we've seen many times before, most recently with SMG3's notebook, whenever a new item with an original model is introduced which gets highlighted in an episode or few, this usually means that this item will become important for some sort of story arc or important event. If we see this manga again in the last 4 or 5 episodes left in this year, I think we can be confident that Melony will be the main character in Puzzle Vision's next show. However, whether she will be Puzzle Vision's pawn, who is directly influenced by him like SMG4, Ren and Marty, is up for debate, as although SMG3's notebook was the main thing that was being built up in the lead up to WotF 2023, it was Marty who ended up being his pawn rather than SMG3. Whatever the case, that the plot would revolve primarily around her and her manga would be pretty certain. Actually, there is another reason why I think this episode may be hinting towards the next chapter of the Puzzle Vision arc, and it's because of this single shot here. Swag is holding a TV, and we've seen this specific TV model before. It was the one that Puzzle Vision was watching the events of WotF 2023 through, though it is a different model from the TV from the Western Spaghetti build-up. This is probably a massive stretch, and may very well just be a coincidence, but considering how important the iconography of TVs have been this year, there's a part of me that feels like the use of this exact TV model was on purpose as a small hint. Moving on now, you might have noticed that every major episode this year has had a specific theme linked to common movie genres, with It's Gotta Be Perfect being horror-themed, Western Spaghetti obviously having a Western theme, and WotF 2023 having a spy/action theme. This is obviously to portray how these are different shows being put on by Puzzle Vision. So you might be wondering what genre I think this major episode focused on Melony may be. Assuming this major episode isn't meme games, which would obviously have a game show theme, and removing genres already covered or highly unlikely to be covered, then these are the genres that I can think of that we would be left with. In relation to Melony and her manga, the only genre that I can see as being suitable or obvious is romance. But there was no way we could have predicted the Western or spy/action themes of Western Spaghetti and WotF 2023, so there's a very good chance the genre could be made apparent in a later episode. I think sci-fi, sport or adventure, possibly linked to a pirate theme, sound most likely out of this list, though considering the lingering mystery of Puzzle Vision, and the fact that he has puzzle in his name, perhaps mystery or detective could be suitable, especially as this major episode will probably have a major difference to every other movie this year, that being that Puzzle Vision will likely play an active role in the plot and be finally defeated. The very last prediction I want to make is that I think every character who has been heavily affected by Puzzle Vision throughout the year will probably play a major role in this last major episode. Also, with Melony's manga artist plot point returning, maybe that revives hope of Whisk being brought into the SMG4 series, considering I'd consider that the last major loose end in the series. Of course, I very likely could be wrong. Twice since WotF I've been wrong in my predictions about how the Puzzle Vision arc may proceed. Moreover, it could be argued that we could have expected to see more build up to Melony's manga artist plot point earlier than now, such as seeing her drawing or mentioning her new manga's upcoming release, especially as we have few episodes left. But considering that there was a considerable gap between the release of It's Gotta Be Perfect and the episode where Maggie's coaching plot point began to be reintroduced, and considering that there could be 3 or 4 more episodes of build-up towards a Melony manga artist storyline, I don't think this idea is too implausible at all. Anyways, can't wait to be immediately proven wrong next episode yet again. Bye folks.